What's going on, people? I hope everybody is cool. So today, I'm going to be diving into a situation involving Bishop Clarence and Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, recently, Bishop Clarence went in on Kamala Harris for her reaction to some protesters yelling, "Jesus is Lord," during her rally. Okay? He's frustrated that she didn't fire back the same phrase, claiming that the Democrats don't respect faith, don't respect Jesus, Christianity, etc. I want you all to check out the clip, and then I'm going to come back with the commentary. Stick around because I'm going somewhere with it.
But I saw the Madam Vice President in a rally where some people said Jesus is Lord, and she looked at them and said, "You're in the wrong rally." And they tried to sweep it. They tried to sweep it under the rug like she wasn't addressing that. But there were two people. One had said that she was telling lies, and the other said Jesus is Lord, and she addressed them both. She said, "You all, not one of you, y'all are at the wrong rally." You don't believe me? They kept it out of the news. While on the other hand, the other candidate has people singing "How Great Thou Art" in his rallies, and still a bunch of pimp jack-leg preachers who are in bed with the political elite are trying to tell their congregations to vote for someone who is against the Judeo-Christian ethic. That devil is a liar, and God will determine who's who. You're looking at me like you didn't hear about it. That's why I brought the clip. Show it.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
No, that wasn't what she was addressing. She was addressing someone who called her a liar. No, she was addressing them both. She heard someone call her a liar. She heard someone say Jesus is Lord. And she says, "You all are at the wrong rally." And then she says, "You need to go to the smaller one down the street." Well, let me tell you something, my sister. You need to watch how you deal with God's people in this hour. Because just because you get elected, if you do, doesn't mean you'll last. God is still the God of heaven. And the God, that's not a threat. I'm a prophet. God will do certain things to silence the mouth of mockers. So you sell your vote for welfare programs, stimulus packages, housing promises, even if the candidates are against your Christian values and your Judeo-Christian ethic, and then you have the nerve to stand in a pulpit and call yourself a child of God. No, you're not. You're not a man of God. You're a preaching pimp. Selling your people for the latest trick. Don't worry, I don't want to come to your conference. I've already been. God wasn't there. I ain't coming again.
Okay, now you all just heard that, right? I mean, he really went in on her, okay? I mean, you all just heard everything, okay? You heard the clip, you heard what he had to say, etc. So, in my opinion, when you hear those protesters, their voices are barely cutting through the noise. To me, it sounds muffled at best. Listening to it on the screen, I couldn't even really make out what they were saying. Now.
Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
Now, there's no telling what that woman heard, man. Let's be real. How can you be sure that Kamala Harris even caught what they were saying? Yet, her opponents are acting like she was outright ignoring them. Let's be real, man. Let's be real. That lady probably didn't even hear what they were saying, man. Seriously. I can barely hear them. There's no telling what Kamala Harris heard them people saying. All right? But you all are just acting like she just ignored, Jesus is Lord, right? I'm not too sold on that yet. All right? Let's keep it moving. Now, to Bishop Clarence, man. I get I get why you're frustrated that she didn't say Jesus is Lord back. Me personally, I know that Jesus is Lord. Okay, but come on, man. Come on. You are expecting a response based on an assumption. You're assuming that she heard them clearly. You are assuming that she know what they said, but you really do not know if that's the case at all. Okay? That's not cool to do, man. If she couldn't even hear them, how can you hold her accountable for not replying? That's like blaming someone for not responding to a text message that they never got. Okay, seriously. Now, Bishop Clarence, man, I'm going to go a little deeper with some things you said within the video. You mentioned that at Trump rallies, singing praises to God is totally accepted, while at the other rally, like a Democratic rally or a Kamala rally, etc., singing praises to God seems to be shut down.
While on the other hand, the other candidate has people singing how great thou art in his rallies, and still.
And you know what? As a Christian man myself, I can hear that, you know? I feel you on that, you know? Some things the Democrats stand for do clash with Christian values, and I understand why some of the Democratic values would make some Christians upset. I understand it. All right. Which is why I'm not a Democrat. All right? Now, before you all start clapping for me saying that I'm not a Democrat, oh, whoop-de-doo, let's be clear. I'm not a Republican either. All right? I just want to put that out there. I'm not a Republican either, right? Now, in regards to them saying Jesus is Lord, okay? I do believe Jesus is Lord, but let's be honest. Let's be honest. I'm not totally sold on those protesters saying Jesus is Lord. I'm not totally bought. Okay? And do you want to know why? Because ask one of those protesters if they support reparations for the descendants of slaves in America. And I guarantee you they will say no. Okay? Yet Romans 13:7 tells us to give everyone what you owe. Period. The United States of America owes a debt to the descendants of American slaves. Do they not? Yes, they do. They do. But they refuse to honor Romans 13:7, which says give everyone what you owe them. They refuse to honor that. Okay. So what's the point of yelling Jesus is Lord if you're out here ignoring justice? You know, in regards to them saying Jesus Christ is Lord, if you go to Isaiah 29:13, it says, quote, "These people come near me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me," unquote. Ask one of those guys yelling Jesus Christ is Lord. Ask one of them if George Floyd died of fent. Ask them. I guarantee you they will tell you yeah. Now, they saw the video that everybody else saw. They saw the knee on the neck. They saw the man alive screaming for the knee to be taken off the neck. And then they saw the man stop moving with the knee still on the neck. And they will look at that video and say, must have been a drug overdose. Guarantee. Ask one of those protesters, do they support Derek Chauvin? Ask them. Ask one of those protesters how they feel about George Zimmerman. Ask them. Ask them, was Daniel Penny right? Ask them. I guarantee you they'll start talking some white supremacist rhetoric. Guarantee it. Which is why I'm not sold on the whole Jesus Christ is Lord thing. I'm not moved by it. I'm not impressed by it, etc. Because I know that if I went up to one of those guys and had a conversation with them, white supremacist rhetoric is going to flow out into the atmosphere. Guarantee it. Now, Bishop Clarence, like I said, I understand everything you were saying within the video. I get it. But I want to talk about, this so-called moral high ground that, Christian Republican Trumpers like to act like they have. Okay? It's concerning when folks act like the Republican Party is the one that's truly aligned with God or something. Like, Christian Trump supporters and, Republicans who are Christians, they like to point their fingers at the Democrats like, oh, you bad Democrat. And I'm not a Democrat. I am an independent. Okay. I haven't sworn allegiance or sold out to any political party. Okay. It's only one side, God's side. If I happen to agree with something that a Republican agrees with, and it just so lines up with the word of God, and so be it. If I happen to agree with something that a Democrat agrees with, and it just so happens to line up with the word of God, then so be it. Okay. That's how I rock. But, acting like you all hold some sort of morality, it's appalling to me. Okay. This is the same party, the same Republican Party, the same MAGA party, okay, who bring in people like Laura Loomer, who's a bona fide, hellified, diehard confessing white supremacist, okay, who's made a career off of being racist. Check out this clip.
I want to turn to the Trump side of the ledger and talk about the fact that some figures in Donald Trump's orbit are concerned about someone who's been traveling with him lately. I'm talking about Laura Loomer, a far-right conspiracy theorist. She's called herself pro-white nationalism and a proud Islamophobe. These are things that this woman who is with Donald Trump has said. And yesterday, she was with Trump.
Yeah, that's who the Republican Party aligns themselves with. Okay? And then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay, who was recently called out by a black Republican for calling him the N-word. Check out the clip.
Harrison Floyd, a black Trump co-defendant, is facing online backlash for demanding an apology from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene for calling him a racial slur. The former Black Voices for Trump director said he was called the N-word by Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I mean, seriously, man. But it doesn't stop there. Even though Marjorie Taylor Greene was walking around calling black people the N-word, Marjorie Taylor Greene also tried to call out Laura Loomer for being a racist. Check out the clip.
We all saw your back and forth with Laura Loomer. Do you have concerns about her access to Donald Trump right now?
I have concerns about her rhetoric and her hateful tone. To me, many of the comments that she makes and how she attacks Republicans like me, many other Republicans that are strong supporters of President Trump, I think they're a huge problem. And that doesn't represent MAGA as a whole. It doesn't represent who we are as Republicans. And, I typically try to ignore her post, but someone had sent me that post about Kamala Harris, and it bothered me so much. And my personality, everyone knows I'm outspoken, and I just felt like it was time to call it out. I think it's wrong. We're not a party of identity politics. We're a party for all Americans. And I think that's so important. And I think that we need to be focused on our policies, the inflation, the economy, and the border, and not attacking people for their race, not attacking.
I mean, it's racism all over the place, man. It's racism all over the place. It's raining racism within that party. Okay? What about Charlie Kirk, man? Charlie Kirk, huh? You got a black Republican. What about Charlie Kirk? You got a black Republican by the name of Darrell Scott, who recently called out Charlie Kirk for telling Donald Trump that he should just ignore black people. And Charlie Kirk said this in front of black Republicans. It just so happened that Charlie Kirk didn't know that Darrell Scott was going to call him out. I'll let you all check it out. Check out the clip.
And we talked about the evangelicals. We talked about suburban white women. We talked about gun owners. And then when it got to black people, Charlie Kirk said, I think Trump should just tell black people anything. Just lie to them. He can say anything. It don't matter. My business partner reaches up. Can we cuss on this show?
Yeah. It's called.
My business partner said, man, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. Then I said, Charlie, say something like that again, I'll knock the shit out of you, white boy. And so he turned red and said, well, hey, I'm just saying, don't you never say no stupid shit like that in front of me again. And we checked him real hard, but that showed me right there the content of his heart. to even say something like that. Trump should just tell black people anything, lie to them.
What about Myron Gaines, man? You got Myron Gaines, another black Republican, running around here who wants to be a white supremacist so bad, but just can't quite make the cut. And then you got a host of other clips of, what this party is about, the dark side of this party.
There were parts of the GOP that we have to look at and be honest about what it was. We didn't, as a broad party, look at the people in parts of the base in the South and parts of the Midwest who were not motivated by free markets or limited government or individual liberty. They were motivated by racial animus.
So when you all sit up and try to wave your fingers at Democrats, oh, you're bad, Democrat, oh, we are the party that's aligned with God and we support the morals of God. Yeah, not with Laura Loomer running around, not with Charlie Kirk running around, not with Richard Spencer running around, not with the Proud Boys running around. Okay? So just stop it. Stop it. Now, Bishop Clarence, I get your issues with the Democrats, but I need you and all the Christian Trump supporters to stop pointing fingers like your side is the moral authority here, because you're not. All right? Both parties have serious issues and need to step up and reflect. Now, when it comes to Jesus, Jesus is holy. Jesus is righteous. Okay? Jesus is not about racism, hatred, none of that. Okay? Anything that goes against the teachings of Jesus Christ is unrighteous. Period. I believe that. But stop walking around here like you all hold some sort of key to morality. Because you don't. Because your party is full of white supremacists. Your party is full of people with hatred in their heart. Your party is full of people who speak evil things. Your party is full of people, mean-spirited people, who constantly keep up nothing but mess. Seriously. So stop acting like your party is the party is the where it's at. Come over here and we're good over here. Nah. See, Rob Smith had to learn that the hard way. Another black Republican who went to a MAGA event and thought he was going to be cool till they called him the N-word and ran him up out of there. Right, man. So before you all try to check anyone else, go check yourself, all right? Now, I'll leave you with this before I go, man. Psalms 33:4 says, quote, for the word of the Lord is right and true. He is faithful in all he does, unquote. All right. So, Bishop Clarence, I get where you're coming from. But stop acting like your side holds the moral authority here, like your side is just full of integrity, full of righteousness, and full of all good things, because you're not. Okay? You're definitely not. So stop it. All right. Until next time, man, you all have a great day. Peace.